It's Wednesday the 6th of May, the day the Crown brought to a close their evidence against David Bain. Tomorrow in the High Court behind me here, the defence begins their response to the Crown case. So, how did the Crown end their 8.5 weeks of evidence? Well, this morning was spent highly unusually, with the judge reading aloud to the jury David Bain's cross-examination at the first trial in Dunedin in 1995. All of the cross-examination, the questions and the answers.
Question: is the house at Every Street dilapidated? Answer: yes, it was.
Never a truer word spoken. The Bain house at Every Street was a slum, so dilapidated that the council had even moved to intervene.
Question: prior to June, had not the council been insisting that the house either be repaired or pulled down?
It was burned down eventually, but too late to save those who lived in the squalor and dysfunctionality that was Bain family life. David Bain sat there this morning, forced to listen as his cross-examination from the first trial was read out. His own words from 14 years ago, the Crown case coming to a conclusion with this voice from the past.
Question: how would you describe your relationship with your father? Answer: it was a close relationship. We got on well. We had very similar interests and therefore did things together.
This is Durham Street on a wet old day in Christchurch. It's one way, which may be apt because it's outside the Christchurch High Court. And in there, as in all High Court cases, the prosecution has gone first. Yes, it's been their evidence, their witnesses, their case. Only when the prosecution has finished do the defence get to call their evidence, their witnesses. That is the point we're at now. So, the defence has to rebut the prosecution case, which began when the jury was sworn in exactly 2 months ago today.
Did you see his eyes?
Yes. Yeah.
What did you see?
They're just normal.
Did you think anything of that at the time?
I just thought it was, it was a bit strange.
From the beginning, the Crown was intent on suggesting David Bain had staged everything. His behaviour after police and ambulance officers arrived.
It didn't appear that he'd had a full-blown fit just a minute or two before, because obviously we'd responded immediately to the call.
To the note on the computer, written, the Crown says, by David Bain with the purpose of framing Robin. Former Detective Sergeant Milton Weir told the court what it said.
Sorry, you are the only one who deserved to stay.
But Milton Weir himself came under scrutiny, setting the tone of the defence response through the opening days of the trial. Time and again, the defence portrayed initial police investigations as inept.
Who was responsible?
Well, I just told you that, Mr. Reid.
Well, sir,
He said that he's reported the finding back to those in charge of the inquiry and they give directions from there.
yes, but
What more can he say?
Well, I would be grateful if you'd let me do the cross-examination, sir. I would like to know the name of the person, whether it's Robinson or Doyle.
And this is the first time that you've given evidence about the abrasions on Robin Bain's hands, isn't it?
I don't know.
Well, I want you to think about that.
Well, I have. I don't know. I've just told you. I don't know.
Neither side disputes that whoever killed Robin Bain killed everyone.
Can you indicate it about here, and it didn't exit. It impacted.
Which is why the pathologists are so important. This was the most memorable appearance, of course, that of Alexander Dempster. He says Robin had a contact wound, which includes the possibility of suicide. But two other pathologists said the shot that killed Robin Bain was fired from further away, practically ruling suicide out.
In my view, it would be simply impossible to self-inflict the injury that we see and produce the pattern of injury that we see on the skin.
Also part of the Crown case, the sometimes hotly disputed forensic and DNA evidence. Whose blood was it and how did it get there? Socks were modelled in court as foot sizes were discussed to ascertain whose bloody footprints were left behind. A green jersey became significant. The question, who was wearing it, David or Robin?
The green fibres that were found under Stephen's fingernails were similar in colour and appearance to the green fibres of the jersey.
But what of the clothes David Bain was known to have been wearing? ESR scientist Sally Ann Harbison told the jury she found Stephen's DNA in blood on the front and back of David's T-shirt and on his shorts. Beyond the DNA, new evidence was presented suggesting Laniette was wary of her big brother David.
She said that she was going to work, and after work David was going to collect her and take her home for a family meeting, which she said she felt scared about and she didn't want to go.
But now the defence responds to all this, presenting their evidence about life and death at 65 Every Street. They say Robin was the killer, and over the next few weeks 2 men will be on trial here, although only one of them is alive and in the dock.